one day before the work week. And the best advice I can give you is look forward to it. Everybody hates Monday, but it all starts on Sunday, how you feel for the rest of the week. So by today being Sunday, tell yourself that you're going to kill it the whole week. So when tomorrow comes, it won't be a problem and you won't dread it. I hope y'all enjoyed that birthday vlog that I put up the other day. It's it's not often that I make the long videos. I try not to. I try to keep the videos between 7 to 13 minutes. I try real hard not to make those really long videos. But I feel like, anybody who's vlogging like the entire day, it's kind of impossible to make that a short video. And I know there are like two different audiences out there. You have your audience that likes that stuff, that likes the long videos. And then you have the audience that doesn't, that likes it short and sweet. For me, it depends. Depends on what it is. Sometimes I don't mind sitting there watching a video for 20 minutes or so. Just as long as all of the videos aren't 20-something minutes. So I hope you all can appreciate that. So yeah, the topic of this video is about competitive bodybuilding. Is it worth it? What are the pros and what are the cons? Okay. Some time ago, I told everybody my history in competitive bodybuilding. I first did a show in 2008, and I've been competing ever since. The last show I did was 2014. Now, I will say this much. When you do it, when you start competing for the first time, it's very addicting. It's really addicting. You look at yourself. You're in the best shape of your life, and you've pretty much set a golden standard for yourself. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how you look. Because that final product that you've carved out for that show is probably the best that you have ever physically looked. Body fat percentage is low, veins are everywhere. You looking shredded. It's a golden standard. And for me, like after I competed, I felt like, man, anything less than this or not having a six-pack is unacceptable. So yeah, it kind of set the bar up high for me as far as how I would like to look physique-wise year-round. I don't want to be shredded year-round, but being relatively lean is more so of what I would like to do. Okay, so is it worth competing? A short answer is it depends. It really depends on the person. You have people with different goals. Some people like to do it just to say that they did it. Some people like to do it because they've been on some sort of a fat loss journey for a long period of time. Some people like to do it in hopes of turning professional one day. Whatever your reason is, that is what I would base the answer on. Okay? But let's just be honest, guys. The average guy and the average girl probably really doesn't have a desire to compete. Okay? It's like, in some circles, if you don't compete, you don't matter. Okay? Or just because you work out and you might be lean, if you've never competed, like your results don't matter. I think that's like ridiculous. I think that's stupid. You don't ever dismiss somebody's hard work just because they decide not to get on the bodybuilding stage, okay? Now, for me, would I compete again? I would. But am I in a hurry to do it? Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly why. We're going to go back to 2011, okay? 2011, I think the name of the show was the Panhandle Showdown National Qualifier Show. And I got ready for that. It took me about 3 months because I was relatively lean before I started that prep. So I ended up getting with a coach, pretty well-known guy locally, and he pretty much put me on the worst bro diet ever. Oh my gosh. Fish, tuna, low carbs. Man, we talking about just bro from front to back. It was awful. But I did get in real good shape, I will say that much. Suffered a lot, got extremely lean, shredded, got to the show, and ended up placing second behind a guy who was in okay shape, who did not know how to pose, who hit the poses wrong, went in the opposite direction when they called for quarter turns, and he just couldn't hold it together. He was cramping up backstage and all kind of stuff, okay? And this guy ended up beating me. He ended up placing first place in our class, and I ended up placing second. And I was, usually I would say, okay, congratulations, it is what it is. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was a little salty about that, because his shape was really blocky, and like I said, he just didn't have the symmetry. The aesthetics definitely wasn't there, and his composure was awful, okay? So he placed first, I placed second, and the third place guy was actually somebody who looked exactly like him. So I'm thinking to myself, how are you gonna put a guy that's blocky in first place and a guy who's aesthetic with a small waist in second place, and then put another blocky guy in third place? Now, if the blocky look is what they were going for, wouldn't it make sense if I had to place third and not second? You know what I'm saying? It was like the judging was so ridiculous that I was like, you know what? I'll never do this show again because it was judged incorrectly. So after the show, I found out this guy was a doctor, all right? And the type of doctor that he was the type that pretty much distributed the drugs to the athletes. So he had a couple of people in the show in which he was giving, he was their go-to man. And I found that out, like I said, after the show. Also, he was buddy with a couple of judges as well. So then the night before at weigh-ins, we, usually when you go to weigh-ins, you show the people your registration card and whatever organization that you choose to compete in or whatever. I competed in the NPC. I probably will never do another NPC show again, ever, because what's the point when you put all of that hard work in just to get beaten by somebody that's on gear? But anyway, like I said, the guy that beat me came to the weigh-ins. He did not have his registration card, and the judges were like, oh, it's all good, man, it's cool. So everybody's like, what? Like raising their eyebrow, and we're like standing in line, and they're yelling at us to get our stuff together, and this guy walks in and they just give him the go-ahead. So I'm like, all right, that's red flag number one. But it wasn't until the next day that I found out that this guy was in my class. I'm like, oh man. And the guy peaked on Friday. He peaked on Friday, which means that he didn't look half as good as he did Saturday than he did Friday, and I peaked Saturday morning. So I was like, I peaked on time. This guy didn't. I beat this guy, okay? And they didn't give me the win. So like I said, hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to waste my time competing in a show that's not going to be called right. So overall, y'all, you can put all of this hard work and effort into competing, and you get up on stage, you're only up there for a few minutes, and you've been dieting for months. Some people have been dieting for 3 to 6 months, and you get up there and they only give you like a few minutes to showcase yourself, and some of them won't even give you a look. Some of them won't even acknowledge you. I've been to shows to where we've heard the judges discuss how fast they wanted to get it over with so they can go to lunch after prejudging. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? You want to rush the prejudging just so you guys can get something to eat? And these people have been dieting for 3 to 6 months. Are you kidding me? They're up here dying. Some of them are dehydrated. Some of them are deprived. Just crazy stuff going on backstage. And you're just worried about getting lunch, so you want to hurry along the show. When I heard that right there, I was like, competing is not all what it's cracked up to be. And this is the stuff that you won't hear people make videos about. You always see people make the videos about, 8 weeks out, 6 weeks out, talking about their diets, this and that. And these are people who've competed before, okay? But you never hear about the other stuff. You know, the stuff that happens that nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about their losses. Okay, nobody wants to talk about what goes on backstage. Nobody wants to talk about how shows are judged. Okay, now I'm not saying that all shows are corrupted. I'm not saying that all shows have judges that rush their competitors on stage just so they can go to lunch, but I'm saying that they exist. And I'm saying that if you put all of that hard work and effort into doing this, then you better understand something. That you better be doing it for yourself, and that's it. Okay, do not do it in hopes of becoming a star, because I've seen people who look phenomenal who got overlooked. All right, and I always said that if I ever compete again, I'm going to be undeniable, which means that when I get up there and they see me, their eyes are going to come straight to me, and that's the attitude that every competitor should have. So it's hit or miss with this competing thing. So the pros to competing, I would say, I mean, you get a little exposure, obviously. All right, your name kind of gets thrown in the hat in the fitness community. So, oh, that's that guy, or that's that girl who did such and such show, or whatever, or he placed or she placed first or second, or whatever the case may be. You get a little recognition from it. You know, what's another pro from competing? The experience. You gain a ton of experience from competing. A lot of experience. I mean, you learn your body. You learn that the difference between real dieting and just cleaning up your diet. You learn that. You know, if you do it long enough, you may even be able to put your own protocol together to help somebody else in need of competing. I mean, there are some pros to it. Okay. Some cons. Man, the sacrifice that you have to make to get ready for a show is very large. Okay, now a lot of people say that, you know, you want to balance competing and life, but let me tell you something, man. Coming from somebody who's done it several times, it's very hard. It's almost impossible to not sacrifice, you know, things around you, like family and friends and work. Everything is going to suffer because you want to get ready for this show. I promise you, because everything's going to revolve around you for however long you're prepping. You know, as far as like what you eat for dinner, or where you go to socialize, or what time you go to bed, or where do you go, you know, with your family, whether you have time or not, that you got to go train, or you have to eat, or you have to do another hour of cardio. There's just so many things that are going to get sacrificed. I'm telling you that. In some cases, it's almost not even worth it. You know, it really depends. I mean, if you're single and you don't really care about a social life, then this is for you, okay? But if you have a family, or you have a lot of friends, and you got obligations in your life, competing is going to be very hard. It's going to be real hard. And what are you going to get? You know, what are you going to get? Just a little recognition? Just a little trophy? Y'all seen my thumbnail. You see that? You see that thumbnail? You know why I put that up? Let me tell you why I put that thumbnail up, because that trophy broke from just falling from a short distance. Okay? It was a cheap trophy, guys. It was cheap. Dollar store trophy. You put all of that hard work and effort into your training, your diet, and you sacrifice time with your family and friends, all for this trophy that if it tips over, it'll break. This is when you need to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because some people sacrifice everything just to get a trophy, just to say that they won something. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, you know, they could at least give you more than just this little bougie trophy. You know what I'm saying? They could at least give you more than that. And I feel like, give me some money. Or heck, how come a trophy can't be gold? Because you know those promoters got money. Of course they got money. They charge the competitors to compete. They charge them to do the show. They charge them for however many divisions they want to do on the show. They charge the people to come watch the show, and they charge the people who want to come backstage. So they're just making money. Nobody's making any money in these shows except for the promoters. The people who are competing are putting money into that show. You have to pay for your diet. You got to pay for a coach, your gym membership, your entry fees, your posing suits. Ladies, the suits that you wear are very expensive. You got to pay for, my gosh, I can't imagine how much money y'all spend. I had a client who competed last year. She paid for her suit, her makeup, her hair, her entry fee, the hotel, all of that stuff, just to compete in the show, to where she didn't even get recognized, and she looked phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But to some people, that can leave a sour taste in your mouth and almost leave you a little depressed at that too. But you know, you don't have to compete to be somebody. You don't. I've seen people who look phenomenal who've never even been on the bodybuilding stage. You don't have to get on those stage just to be somebody. There are people in the fitness world who are actually more popular than IFBB pros. Let that sink in for a minute. Okay? I guarantee you, I bet more people know who Simeon Panda is and Ulysses than they know who Sean Roden is. I promise you. Like, if you ask a group of people, you know who Simeon Panda is? Oh yeah, you know who Sean Roden is? Who? I get. And we're talking about the supposedly second best bodybuilder in the world right now, and nobody knows who he is. You know, mainly because the man ain't got no personality, first of all. But that's beside the point. There are people who don't compete who have a lot of recognition, and you don't have to compete just to get recognition. I compete for me. I don't care about turning pro. I mean, if it happens, it just happens. Maybe it'll help my business. I'm worried about business. I'm not worried about that stage. You know, if I feel like if I'm in shape and I look good, I'll jump in the show. You know what I'm saying? But the sacrifice that comes with it is just too great to do it consecutively. Okay? But yeah, that's just how I feel about the whole competing thing and whatnot. I mean, you don't have to do it. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it just to say you did it. If you like it, run with it. You know, it's your decision primarily. But I hope everyone enjoyed this video. This is going to be the portion that I stop talking because I just got to the gym. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to train. Maybe I'll attach a couple of clips of what I do up in here. But the video is not about me training. It's about me talking about competing, because there's a lot of people who are interested now more than ever about competitive bodybuilding, especially since fitness is this big trend now and everybody wants to get on stage, okay? So let me be the first to tell you that you need to really think about it before you do it, okay? Because like I said, it doesn't come with much, and it sure doesn't pay you anything. So I hope everyone liked the video. Comment down below your feelings about competing, whether you've ever competed before, whether you're thinking about competing, you know what I'm saying? Do you support what I'm saying? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? You know, I got love for the people who compete. You know, that's awesome. Do your thing. But like I said, there's another side to it. There's always two sides to a story. So don't just listen to the good. You need to hear the bad as well, okay? Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Look out for more content coming your way. Got some pretty good ideas coming up. If you're new to the channel, what's up? Welcome. You won't be sorry. Share this video with your friends and your family, all right? Let me get in here and beast it out. Peace.
I'm